Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Woodpeckers Deep Dive. Today, we're going to take a closer look at Woodpeckers Push Guard. It's a great push block to use on all your power tool equipment. Keeps you away from the cutter while it keeps the wood in the cutter. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you to hit the subscription button and the notification bell. That way you'll always know about every new video that we release. Also, there's a link right down here, right below in the description, that will take you to the web page on this product. So this is the fully assembled push guard, and here are the three components. There's the push block itself, the finger guard, and the chip guard. One of the first things I want you to notice about the push guard is the angle in the handle. You can see that it's at a slight angle relative to the base. The old-fashioned push blocks were dead square straight up and down. On this new design, that angle means that as I'm pushing this way, as I'm pushing down, I'm also pushing this way, which is great when we're working on a table saw fence or a router table, anywhere where you want your pressure against the fence and down to the table at the same time. That's exactly the action that we're getting with this. So the finger guard is going to protect your hands from flying chips while you're using this. The push block by itself is just fine, but the finger guard is a nice accessory to add to it to keep you protected from the chips. And we just have two bolts in here, right? Don't have to take them completely out to put the guard on. It's slotted. So all we have to do is drop that over the nuts. It'll fall right into place, and then we're just going to tighten the nuts. Now you can see that when I put my fingers in place, that this is going to keep all of the flying chips from hitting my knuckles. Now the chip deflector is bolted on in a very similar fashion. We have two screws here. We're going to back those off. And inside there are two track nuts. The slots on the clear chip deflector are just going to slide right in there and just lock it back up. Now I only use the chip deflector about half the time. So when this is off, I just want to caution you about one thing. When you take this loose, it slides out easy, but hear that? Those bolts are loose, and if they're on a router table with some vibration, they can come loose. So what we're going to do here is just not take them out, but tighten them down. Just spin those down tight. They're not going to interfere with anything else. And now the rattle's gone and we're safe to use it. So we're going to show some cuts using the push guard. On this first one, we're using the fence on the router table. So I've got the chip deflectors off because we're going to be working pretty tight to the fence. Let's make a cut. So a couple episodes ago, we showed you our freehand guard, which is great anytime you're doing an irregular shaped piece. And that's a great application for our push guards too, but we don't want the chip deflector on there because it'll interfere with the chip deflector on the freehand guard. Now, if you don't have our freehand guard and you're working off a starter pin, that's when the chip deflectors on the push guards are a real advantage. Here at the joiner, you're going to notice that that angle I was talking about earlier really helps you keep the pressure in the right direction, since you have to stand beside the cut. So when you're working at the table saw and you're making a narrow rip, the push stick that comes with most saws is ideal. But when you're doing a wider cut, it really isn't very effective at all. That's where the push guard really comes in handy. We can do a nice, big, wide piece here with firm grip to the table. Hey folks, I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into Woodpeckers Push Guard. If you're interested in one of these, there's a link down below that will take you straight to the ordering page on our website. And while you're at it, hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you always know about our next video. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Deep Dive.